Dear students, welcome to this lecture on strategic human resource management. This is unit 1 lecture 6 and the topic for today's discussion is challenges in strategic human resource management. I am Dr. Tripti Barthwal. I am director, Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management and Development Studies. So, we have all now understood the concept of strategic human resource management and how human resource strategies are formulated. Now, let us take a look at in terms of a business, in terms of an organization, what are the major challenges which are faced when you are devising strategic human resource management policies or you are making HR strategies. So, the challenges in strategic human resource management have been I have taken the 4 major challenges here. There can be many more to it, but I have taken the most important according to me. The first is competition for talent, the second is retention of talent, the third is leadership development, and the fourth is driving innovation. Right. In terms of today's time, these challenges are the most important and significant challenges. Now, we take them one by one. The first is competition for talent. Now, it is a common perception that there are more employees or there are more candidates and in comparison to the number of jobs which are available. So, whenever a job is advertised or whenever a job is vacant, then there will be more than the required number, there will be a lot of people who will be applying for that job, because we are high in terms of population. So, that is I am sure that everybody has noticed this, everybody has observed this, but you will be surprised to know that still there is shortage of talent, there is shortage of skilled people, there is shortage of people with the right kind of capabilities and competencies. And as a result of this, organizations compete for talent. All organizations try to attract the best talent from wherever it is available. So, there may be in terms of head counts, yes, there may be lot of candidates, but in terms of what is the most appropriate for us, what is the right employee for us, what is the right combination of skills and experience for us, that is very difficult and rare to find, and that is indeed a very big challenge, because everything in the organization depends on having the right kind of the person. And take a look at certain statistics. By 2030, there will be a global human talent shortage of more than 85 million people, or roughly equivalent to the population of Germany. This is from a study, Korn Ferry study. Then fierce competition for the brightest brains. Knowledge intensive industries like financial services will be some of the hardest hit, and technology cannot deliver the promised productivity gains if there are not enough human workers with the right skills. So, just look at these points before you, and you can see that the situation is alarming, because 2030 population is going to rise, but the shortage of human resource will also be very high, equivalent almost to the population of Germany. And as a result of that, for the most competent employee, for the most performing employee, companies, organizations are going to fight, right. And then knowledge intensive industries where you require really qualified skilled workers. You cannot do with them. These are not industries where machines can do lot of work. So like financial services, I have taken the example, right. There they will face the maximum resource crunch, human resource crunch. And even in organizations, even in businesses wherein there is lot of use of technology, like in the IT business, there is lot of use of technology, still there will be lot of demand of human resource, because technology in itself has no meaning unless there are people. You put the best computer before me and you put the latest software on it, and you expect me to deliver results, but I do not know how to work on that software. So I become irrelevant for the organization. I become of non utility to the organization. So we will require people there also where a lot of technology is being used, and also people to update that technology. Even if technology has been created, we require people to continuously work on improving that technology. Now, what strategies the organizations have or they can use to overcome the competition for talent, or the fight for talent? First is, organizations are taking on the onus of training talent themselves, increasing their hiring of people straight out of school. You must have heard of this very common concept nowadays, that organizations, many businesses, many companies, they are taking graduates direct to their companies, and then they are training them, giving them professional education, making them qualified and also skilled according to their own requirements. Why? Because once a person becomes professionally qualified, then he becomes aware also, and he also has many takers. He or she has lot of options before them in terms of placement opportunities. But when till the time the student is not professionally technically qualified, he does not have any options, and everybody likes to start a job at a very young age. So companies have, in order to overcome the talent shortage which they are facing, or they are likely to face, which is likely to escalate in the future, they have taken the responsibility of training themselves, that we will take students, we will take children, or maybe little grown up adults like a fresh slate, and then we will modify them, mold them accordingly. So this kind of takes care of their talent shortage to a great extent. Creating a culture of continuous learning and training within the organization. Training, updation, learning is being rewarded, and if organizations are not doing it, they should immediately start doing it, because then only what will happen, that the existing employees will be motivated to update and upskill themselves, and then only what will happen, that with the existing employees only we can meet the requirements of the future, and hence we will not be facing a talent shortage. Next is employer branding. You need also to when there is a vacancy in your organization, then the best of the people should apply for it. You should, as an organization, have a lot of choice rather than you hunting for candidates. And how that is possible? See, for example, if in the concept in marketing we know what branding is. So whenever a branded product which enjoys a high brand equity is available in the market, even if it is high priced, customers are ready to pay that price, because they believe that it will deliver that kind of value to them. So similarly, employers can also develop themselves as a brand, that is, they should give such good conditions of work to the employees, such good HR policies, that by word of mouth itself, it is spread to all the people that this organization is very good, takes lot of care of its employees, and hence employees, more and more people, potential candidates, potential employees are willing to apply for vacancies in the organization. So, employer branding is going to help a lot. Then keeping recruitment lines open. This is also very important, that once we are through with filling of the vacancies, all employees have joined and work has started on a normal flow now, still we should keep our sources of supply open. We should keep on inviting CVs, we should keep on entertaining cold calls by the employees, because you never know when a vacancy is going to arise, and you never know when a very competent employee is going to contact you, and maybe you are going to miss because you have closed your recruitment lines. So, there is no harm in always keeping the recruitment lines open. And then reskilling. With our existing employees, we should make them understand the importance of updating themselves, upskilling themselves, reskilling themselves. So, whatever is the requirement of the future, whatever the future conditions predict, accordingly we should train our existing employees in those very skills and competencies. And the last thing is outsourcing. That is, if we somehow feel that we do not have the required talent to undertake those activities, right? We do not have that kind of talent in terms of HR talent in terms of taking care of a particular activity, then instead of doing it in the wrong way or doing it shoddily in the organization, the best thing is to outsource it, so that at least the best talent from outside will be able to handle that activity for us. So, outsourcing, if nothing works for us, then outsourcing can be an option to combat the war for talent. The second thing is that somehow or the other we have been able to attract the best employee. The best employee has joined the organization, worked for some time, but now he has left the organization. So, the turnover rates, how to control the turnover or the attrition rates of the organization, very difficult. So, that is a big challenge. Again, some statistics before you. The average cost of replacing an employee amounts to just over 20% of the person's annual salary. Look at the cost for the organization. Over 20% of the person's annual salary. The person who has just left, his and 20% more of his annual salary will go in replacing this person. So, retention, or the moving the employee going out of the organization is not only a loss for the organization in terms of skills and competencies, but it is also a financial loss, because lot of money and lot of energy goes in looking for a substitute, finding the right substitute, right? You require lot of expenditure in recruitment, selection, training, onboarding, orientation, and a lot of man days are gone, of senior employees are gone in selection process. So, retention of talent is not only important to for good performance and to maintain continuity, but also to avoid financial losses. Each time an employee leaves, they take a significant portion of their knowledge and expertise with them. So, there is a gap which they create when they leave the organization, and this gap takes a long time to be bridged. And in many cases, it cannot be bridged totally also. then finding new jobs is much easier. One of the very important reasons why turnover rates are high and why retention is so difficult is it comes from the first point which we discussed, that finding there's lot competition for talent, lot of options before the employee. So, finding new job for the employee is not very difficult. So, for a competent employee, once other organizations come to know that this employee is about to leave the organization, then they will start influencing him to join their organization. So, that ease of getting a alternative also prompts many employees to leave their present employment. One of the top reasons of changing a job is money. The salary part is very important. And second thing is because of internet and information technology and lot of awareness and mobility in employees, employees are now knowing their worth in the market. So, they know that if they leave the job and join somewhere else, they are going to get a raise and they are going to be welcomed by any other organization. And then employees are ready to take this risk of moving over to the new organization, because most of the families today are dual income family. So husband wife both are working, and it is easier for any of them to take a risk, because the other spouses at least taking care of the expenses, household expenses. So, that becomes an easy, and many times the employee himself, even if the spouse is not working, the employee himself or herself is also doing a part-time job, right, and as a result earning something from it also. So, sources of income are multiple today. So, that is why people do not fear much before leaving a job. Now, what are the strategies which organizations can use to retain talent? First is exit interviews. This is at least the employee who is leaving will not stay back because of an exit interview, but you will get the right opinion from him, right information from him, why he is leaving the organization, what are the problem areas. At least you can improve on those areas, so that you can retain the other talent which may likely to be leaving, thinking of leaving because of those very factors. So, if you do not conduct an exit interview, then you will be ignorant about the problems within the organization, and as a result of which many more people can think of leaving the organization, and not only retention of talent will be difficult, but also the competition for talent will increase manyfold. Then employees, we said that salary is one of the very important reasons to move, but another very important thing is employees look for opportunities for advancement. If they feel that they have stagnated in the organization, there is no career growth, then also they will think of quitting for a better promotion or a position somewhere else. So, that has to be taken care of. Flexibility in work. Employees today they want more empowerment, they want more control of the work they are doing, they want their share in planning the work, right. So, that has to be given. Flexi timings have to be given. We have discussed about this in the earlier lectures. Then obviously human resource have to be treated as actually human beings, not like machines and all. So, there has to be a display of real concern for them, right, for their requirements. Affection should be there from the side of the employer. So, that will kind of create a sense of belongingness, a bond with the employees, and they are likely to stay back in the organization. Now, one of the very famous well-known organizations, Google, is also known for its the ability to retain its employees, its talent, because it really takes care of its employees, and for several years it has been rated as one of the best employers around the world. So it speaks a lot about how much care and concern they have for their employees, what HR strategies they have. So Google is well known for its innovation and strength when it comes to SHRM. They know their people are what makes them great, and this is at the forefront of their overall business strategy. The company boasts tons of employees' perks and amazing facilities. This includes a 7-acre sports complex, multiple wellness centers, roller hockey rinks, horseshoe pits, and subsidized massages for all. So these are the few of the many things Google does to take care of its employees. The third challenge is leadership development. So there can be no ship which can reach its destination in absence of a captain. So employees repeatedly say that poor leadership as a reason for leaving jobs. Surveys time and again have thrown light on this part, that many employees leave the organization for salary or for career advancement, but many of them will also leave because they fail to find a good leader in the organization. Leadership development has been shown to make a bigger impact on an organization's success than an organization's culture of innovation. Even if the best innovative organizations fail to perform, fail to do well because there isn't a leader who can channelize everything. Organizations with the highest quality leaders were 13 times more likely to outperform their competition in key bottom line metrics such as financial performance, quality of products and services, employee engagement, and customer satisfaction. So again, this is a conclusion from a study that if there is an effective leader, then there are 13 times more chances of having a competitive advantage over the competitors. Now, leadership development in case of organizations, the lack of a capable leadership is an issue of concern. Why? Because everything fails. A major reason is that employees participate in leadership development programs, but they do not necessarily remain with the employers who have paid for their training. This is a very big issue of concern, why organizations do not have leaders, they lack leaders, or they do not have the right kind of leaders, because they may have trained their people at the right time, but now these people have moved somewhere. So retention of talent. So strategies can be making employees interact with current leaders so that they also develop a willingness to lead, they also understand the nuances of leadership, and hence they are ready at the right time. Now, Southwest Airlines, again American Airlines, gives employees first-hand experience in a leadership role by making them to shadow current leaders. They move with the leaders, see how they perform, what they do, and then they are also exposed to see how leaders think, and they also develop leadership capabilities. Other strategies are give employees some authority, let them work without their senior for some time, see how they are performing. As a result, leadership qualities will be addressed. Then stretch assignments, give them, move them out of their comfort zone, move them to a certain different geographical location, or to a new unit, or to a new department, and there they will come out of, the best will come out of them. And the last is driving innovation. Innovation means the introduction of a new idea or to do something better than it's ever been done before. It's a myth that innovation is only driven by high-end technology and R&D. It is actually driven by people and leaders. Seth Waugh, CEO of Deutsche Bank America, advises you must have people with that hunger to always learn, who are always open, and who think about things in a different way. And the strategies, first you must remember that creativity is not something which you can buy from the market. It can only be developed by, if you are rewarding innovative minds. Flextronics has instituted programs that reward creative ideas and innovations monetarily and through recognition. It has 2 bi-yearly awards focused specifically on innovation, one chosen for the best idea and results overall, the other for best cost reduction idea. So, organizations can do something like this. Having no innovative leaders helps promote the commitment to creativity in the organization. So, leaders, innovative leaders are very, very important. 3M innovation and leadership are linked directly, and innovation is a part of each leader's responsibility. Next strategy can be track innovation talent at both college, undergraduate and or graduate level, start them young, right. Qualcomm has an intern program to attract technical talent from top universities and encourages its best performers to return to their schools as campus ambassadors. So, once these students have undergone the internship program, they reach their campus, they speak so well about Qualcomm. So, more want to join it. So, there is no problem of competition for talent. So, this is how companies do drive innovation. And last, I will talk about Samsung's HR strategy, which helps them to manage these SHRM challenges. One of the important aspects of Samsung's HR strategy are SVP, SLP and SGP. SVP stands for Share Samsung Values. It should be, built across the organization. It should be percolated across the organization. SLP, Samsung Leader Program, and SGP stands for Samsung Global Talent Program. So, this is how they kind of encompass or try to overcome all the challenges, major challenges which are being faced by strategic human resource management. So, I hope that you have understood the challenges of SHRM and how organizations and what organizations can do to overcome these challenges. Thank you so much.